Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Paige Lussier Johnson, and I am going to be facilitating a 12-week journey called The Artist Way. Now, this is not my program. I'm simply facilitating it. It's a wonderful book that's been written by Julia Cameron. Well over 30 years old, this book is. And I first came in touch with it in the late 90s and then really connected with it in the early 2000s. And then again when I was pregnant and in 2011 and getting ready to have my baby, I just really needed this kind of grounding. And since this in my life, I've done the artist way with friends, with family, um, or I should say people I consider to be like family. Um, and every time I do it, I go deeper and deeper. And so a little bit about me and how I consider myself an artist. So I have been a artist my entire life, though not necessarily a traditional artist. I like to do a little bit of everything. I'm a Jill of all trades. And then it was when I was in seventh grade that I discovered the limelight of the theater. And I was Whitter Douglas in a production of Tom Sawyer. And I loved it. And I pretty much never looked back. It was a wonderful way for me to um, be someone else, to explore different lives and different times. And I've always loved the theater and the arts. And since it incorporates everything, it incorporates music and painting and design and lights and sets, it just costumes. For me, it was just this playground of creativity. And I've always loved it. Um, though it's also a struggle to be an artist because you're constantly trying to figure out who you are. The imposter syndrome is quite deep. And then when I was pregnant with my daughter is when I was kind of handing over the torch, that I wasn't going to become a professional actor. I kind of realized at that point I'd lived in New York City and pounded the pavement for 10 years. And I realized that pursuing that life wasn't the life that I wanted to create for myself or my family, and that I wanted to be a mom. That was really the calling that I felt more than anything. And so when I was pregnant with my daughter, I did the artist way to kind of heal myself through that transition and finding that art is everywhere in my life. And I, to this day, connect the morning pages more sporadically than what Julia Cameron teaches and promotes in her book, but it is always a wonderful morning ritual for me. And also the artist date. I have little pop-ups on my calendar reminding me that part of my self-care is connecting to that inner artist inside of me. And since then, my trajectory as a healer has really put me in a place of working with the energy and the soul and the spirit. And that is very much so connected to the inner artist. So part of my work is inner artist coaching. I can see what the artist inside of others, and I can help ignite that spark again, that kind of solar plexus ignite, that ignites who you are and who you want to be and what you want to create. And art is never, ever, ever for anybody else. It's always for your own healing journey and your own expression. And so I've kind of created my own course called Cosmic Improv, which is connecting theater and expression and channeling, which is all of the things that I do, but it's very much so rooted in the artist way. And recently I've been a part of a group called Spiritual Women of New England, and I was the facilitator for a sacred healing circle. And again, this mirror came in again about the need to create, to art, to speak our truth. And the artist way was right there. And so I'm feeling called to offer this program for everyone. It is a 12-week journey, and it will be recorded. I'm going to be using my website as the platform to share the replays. So that way everyone can kind of come in, watch the replays and reconnect if they can't make it live. And also to open this course up to others that may want to watch this in the future. So whether you're going through the 12-week journey with us live and in person, or through the replays, through the online course, there's no sense of time in a healing circle, in a sacred circle, so you will be with us nonetheless. And feel free to reach out and connect in. If you would like to know more about me, my healing, and my cosmic improv and my kind of coaching style, which will make a lot more sense if you understand Julia Cameron, because she's in many ways been a mentor. So like I said, I am facilitating this course. She says in her book that she wants this course to be open. She wants lots of people doing it, and she doesn't want it to be someone's making a lot of money doing it and it's just kind of like turns into another one of those, turn and burn things. She wants it to be for everyone, and that's really my style too. I will say that if you feel called to donate to help just provide the energetic exchange of time, I'm all open for that. Reach out to me. I would greatly appreciate it. But for now, let's talk a little bit about the Artist Way and what this course will include. I have created a little Canva thing. So let's see. I'm going to share my screen. I don't always do this, so hold on one second. More. All right, we are going to get this going. There we go. So this is The Artist Way. It's a book by Julia Cameron, and it's a 12-week course. And how do I go to the next page? There we go. So just as a foundation for the course, we will explore The Artist Way by Julia Cameron, and we will consider how to reflect on and develop our own personal healing together in a sacred circle. The one thing I want to make sure everyone understands is that this is not a therapy circle. This is a space where triggers can arise, they can pop up, and we are here to be as supportive for each other as possible. But we are not here to trauma dump. So I'm going to be there as a facilitator for all of us to share our experiences, and I'll be trying to, hold the space and also to move the circle around so we can all feel shared, safe to share. And, if you have something that you're going to share that might be considered a trigger warning, for example, just make sure you let people know and make sure that you're bringing that information out in the most uplifting way possible. So that way you're sharing wisdom and not trauma, that you're not triggering someone else on their own journey. So we are going to be supportive ears for each other, and we are going to try to kind of come out of our shells a little bit. So I recommend, if you're the kind of person who talks a lot, maybe you can hold back a little bit and let others share. If you tend to be a little bit more quiet and reserved, then you can kind of step up, and I want you to give you the courage to share those as well. And I'll kind of gently remind the circle if we're not moving in a fluid circle, if we're taking too long or dominating the conversation. I'll just kind of move that hat along. This is not a space for therapy or one-on-one coaching. So if deeper issues pop up, please reach out to me for one-on-one coaching or speak to another professional separately. This is a healing journey and a safe space for all of us together. And as shadow work pops up, as it ultimately will, know that you're in a safe and supportive space. But if you need more than that, you should reach out to someone. And that's for everyone, including myself. So the only real supplies for this book, for this course, is really the book itself. The 30th anniversary edition is, I think, the most recent. I have a compilation of a couple different courses. I've had it for a long time. You will also need a notebook for morning pages and journal prompts. My one little bit of advice for this: don't buy the most beautiful journal you've ever seen, because you're not going to want to put your morning pages in it. I did this the first time. I had this beautiful, it had gold, gilding pages on the side. It was just the most beautiful book. And I couldn't do the morning pages because it felt like the book was too beautiful for, morning dumps of just kind of nonsensical thoughts that kind of come out. And so I recommend just a plain old notebook, no big deal, that you aren't going to feel bad about throwing away at the end, because it's really the morning pages are really about just getting your thoughts out. But you might want to get a beautiful journal for the journal prompts. There's a lot of them in there. Okay. And let's see. So it's a 12-week course. This is designed by Julia Cameron. It's beautiful. She also has lots of other, sequels and other, healing processes, which are great. But let's start with the 12-week journey and her spiritual path to higher creativity. It's really all about reclaiming our inner artist and kind of getting rid of that negative self-talk. So she breaks it into each week. There's different themes. And so in the early weeks, we're really working on internal blocks, and then we move into playfulness and then connection. And then the final journey is really about letting go. So the artist way, in many, many ways, is a lifelong journey, but it's beautiful to come back and revisit. And I hope that for those of you who do this, will come back often to revisit the course. Morning pages, like I mentioned, it's basically 3 pages of longhand first thing in the morning. Or what I usually do is 10 minutes, because different journals have different size pages. And time is easier for me to do than numbers. And I write in different notebooks. I have them all around my house, so that way I don't get too attached to it. You can do it however you want. With everything with me, any program that you're ever going to do with me, it's always about the intention. It's not about perfection. So please, 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 if you skip a day with the morning pages, don't let that stop you. You just, you skip it for a couple days, you get back to it when you can. It is wonderful to doing. And the morning pages, and this kind of stream of consciousness writing, it has really helped me in my spiritual journey in terms of opening up as a channel. So automatic writing is a aspect of channeling. And in a lot of ways, morning pages, what Julia Cameron is doing, is the same as automatic writing, which, spiritual teachers will teach you in terms of channeling and connecting. So 2 sides of the same coin. And, as an artist, before I was really stepping into my spiritual leadership, all these, little wisdom tools are there for us to kind of connect in. So basically, you wake up in the morning, and your morning pages, you just write whatever comes up into your mind. If what's on your mind is, I had a really bad dream, it was a stupid dream, this happened and then happened, and I'm like, I'm hungry, I want some Cheerios, but Cheerios aren't really very good for you. They're so processed. Well, maybe I should have a banana. I'm really sick of bananas. I remember that time when I was a kid and I had to eat a banana on stage. Who was that girl's name that gave me the banana? Oh, her name was Bridget. She was really funny. She and I it's like that. It's stream of consciousness. It's whatever comes out. And most of it's going to be gobbledygook. It's not going to make anything. But every once in a while, you're going to access some subconscious thoughts, and it's going to really help you connect into your own healing journey. She also teaches us about artist dates. So this is kind of self-care, right? In the spiritual world, these kind of same buzzwords. It has to be solo. It's not going out with a partner or a child or something like that. It's that space of listening. You're not caught up talking to someone else or seeing what they think or what they feel and navigating through their feelings and emotions. This is just for you. So artist dates are a solo outing designed to spark your joy. So, and they don't have to be artistic. I mean, there's all different kinds of art. There's music, there's theater, there's comedy, there's cooking, there's baking, there's gardening, there's landscape. Like, all of these things are artistic. So whatever it is for you, and they don't always have to be expensive. You don't always have to go to a museum or go out to a movie. Sometimes an artist date is just going to a pretty garden and sitting by yourself for an hour and listening to the sound of the birds. Sometimes an artist date is finding a little stream and walking down towards it and getting some fresh spring water to bring home. An artist date can be getting some sidewalk chalk and, you know, just coloring your sidewalk for an hour. An artist date can be listening to music by yourself, you know, dancing in your room, in your house by yourself, making, you know, just having fun. An artist date can be, um, gosh, it can be coloring, you know, getting a little coloring book and kind of sitting in your favorite chair with your favorite cup of tea. It's really, it's self-care. These are the, you know, taking a bubble bath, you know, getting candles and rose petals and just making a beautiful bubble bath just for yourself. That's a wonderful artist date. And there's so many ways that you can just kind of connect in with yourself. And she teaches you the importance of doing that. Oops. Um, she also has her weekly themes, and she brings up these journal prompts that we talked about in terms of the kind of getting rid of that negative self-chatter and really connecting into who you are. And then every week, so we're going to be meeting once a week. We're going to start on Thursday, March 6th. We're going to meet on Thursdays, and we're going to meet from 8 to 9 p.m. on Zoom for 1 hour. And in that space, we're just going to share about our experiences, our challenges from the morning pages, like how many days did we do it? How many days did we not do it? Did we go on an artist date? How was your artist date? Did you have, you know, have an aha moment? How did the journal prompts reach you? And if you're like, wow, I didn't do anything and I feel really bad, still show up to the Zoom meeting, because share that with us and we'll support you. It's really about the community, and it's amazing. You know, these books are wonderful, and I love doing these healing journeys and these, you know, self-help books, but there is something really beautiful about being in a community and having people to support you. And I've got my Frida Kahlo here, who's one of my favorite artists, and she inspires me to just be my authentic self, right? So the journal prompt, you know, some of these they're hard, you know, it's really digging deep. It's some shadow work, but they really, if you can do at least one every week, it's really going to help you on your journey. And then you can always go back and do more later. Um, she really helps us figure out what's blocking us. And in this 12-week journey of being together and really connecting, we'll figure out what our creative blocks are, identify that, you know, inner critic, or like, you know, my one of my teachers called it the shitty committee, right? Like it's the part of you that, you know, I'm not good enough. You know, I'm afraid to write because, you know, what if people don't like it? And what if people think that this isn't true? Or what if someone gets mad? Or what if, you know, what ifs, all of those inner critics. And it's about practicing self-talk. It's about being able to love yourself authentically and being able to work through those blocks to find your inner spark and your inner joy again. So during this 12-week journey, you know, like I said, it's all about intention. It's not about perfection. So as you go through the 12-week program, I remember, you know, when I was doing it the first time, you know, I was really busy and I was like, I don't have time for all this. But, you know, pick one thing that works. If it's the journal prompts that work, do the journal prompts. If it's the morning pages that work, that's fine. If it's the artist date, pick what you can and, you know, adapt it. If you can do all of it, yes, the creative blossom is going to be much richer for you, but it's really about fitting into your individual lifestyle. And let's face it, we all have a lot going on. So be kind to yourself. It's about intention, not about perfection. This is a confidential space. So whether you are live and in this group or whether you're watching it recordings, what happens here stays here. So you are not to share this with anyone else. If you want to tell a story that occurred, a reflection, you don't use any names and you don't use too much of the personal details, because this is someone else's story. It is not yours. You can say, I was taking a class. online. And this woman's story about her childhood really hit me. And then I started working with my childhood and blah, 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 blah. And then you can tell your own story, but don't share specific details about anyone else's story. There's confidentiality. What happens here stays here. We need to maintain a safe space for each other, live and in the future. All of us, I believe that there is no such thing as time in the no time space continuum. So whether you are in this now or in the replay or in the future or whatever, we're still doing it live now and in this now moment, because that's when it exists. That's when it's live off the page, and your energy is here in that energy. So you're part of this sacred space. Okay. And we are here to celebrate each other and our progress throughout the program, and be aware of our own creative process and limitations. That's really the connection, is coming together. So, like I said, we're going to start on Thursday, March 6th at 8 o'clock. The first week will be, I do need you all to read the first week before you show up. So that way, we're not going over all of the same information about what is the artist way and all of that. We are really able to just kind of jump into the themes. And the first week, so you'll read the first chapter. The first week and the first theme is about recovering a sense of safety. So that first week on Thursday, March 6th at 8 p.m., we'll be going over the first week. How did we do on our morning pages? Did we get an artist date? How are we feeling safe about this? How are we connecting? And then likewise, we'll move through. So week 2 is recovering a sense of identity. 3, recovering a sense of power. 4, recovering a sense of integrity. 5, recovering a sense of possibility. 6, recovering a sense of abundance. 7, recovering a sense of connection. 8, recovering a sense of strength. 9, recovering a sense of compassion. 10, recovering a sense of self-protection. 11, recovering a sense of autonomy. And 12, recovering a sense of faith. One thing as well that I want to mention, and Julia Cameron mentions this in her book, and I just want to reiterate it. She talks about God, and she says in that this is a language that she uses. It is a language that I also use. If you are not comfortable when I say God, then you can replace that with whatever term that you use. But God is about that universal force, that universal source that is working through of us. She calls it good orderly direction. So I just want you to kind of understand that and breathe into that before you read the book, before you connect into the group, because we will be talking about God and spirituality and our connection to our artistic self and our artistic life and that creative spark that brought us here on this journey. So I look forward to seeing you for our March 6th to 2025, our week 1 program, live and in person. I hope you can be there. If not, then I will post it here on the website. Each week will be a new module. Please give me until Sunday night to post the information online so I don't have to rush. I have children and a family. I will get that up before Sunday evening before I go to bed, so you can watch it Monday. And then you can use that weekend to kind of read the next chapter and then, reflect back on it with us. So this is kind of our starting space, and this is our presentation to get everyone to feel comfortable and feel grounded and have everything that they need and ready to just come together. So we are working together on those 12 weeks. Oftentimes when I've done this before, one person is kind of facilitating, holding space, but others can lead and take different weeks as well. So we'll see the formality of the group. We'll see how it works, but I am in this journey with you just as much as facilitating it. And I am excited and honored to be hosting and facilitating this wonderful course, this wonderful program by the wonderful Julia Cameron. This book has meant a lot to me in my life, so I just feel honored and excited to share it with all of you. My name is Paige Lussier Johnson. You can reach out to me via email at loveandlight@gmail.com, and I spell it LUVNL888 at gmail.com. That's for love and light with the blessings of the angels abundance. Love and light, LUVNL888 at gmail.com. And you can also reach out to me through the course or through Facebook, however we have connected. I do want to be a source of comfort and an anchor for you if you need anything. If you do feel like you need a healing, if you do feel like you need one-on-one coaching, if anything brings anything up, please reach out to me and I will be happy to support you. I do have other courses on my website. I have an interview series with other artists and healers where we talk about some of the harder subjects. I have my chakra embodiment program, which is a wonderful way to experience healing in the chakras. And a lot of it is through creativity. It's through color and art and music and sound. So that might be a wonderful program for you as well. I do readings, I do healings, I do coachings. Like I said, my cosmic improv course, I'm working on it for online, but I do that in person. So that's more of a coaching for right now. I think we've said everything. All right. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday, March 6th. For the Zoom link, you can log into this course. Make sure that you create a user and account. There's a little tiny button that you have to click to create a user and account. If you don't, it kind of creates drama. It's hard to get on, so try to make sure you do that. Reach out if you need any help registering. And then like I said, the Zoom link will be in the course, the modules and the replays will be in the course. It will be the same Zoom link for the entire time. So once you have that, you can show up throughout the program. And I wish you all many blessings, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.